Good day folks, in today's video we're going to be unboxing and taking a closer look at the new GoPro Max. This is GoPro's newest 360 camera and it's replacing the Fusion. There's a lot of changes and improvements over the GoPro Fusion, so let's just jump right in and we'll take a closer look. Now this video is not a tutorial and it's not a review. That'll be coming shortly down the road. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of the box, see what all comes with it. We're going to check out the menu system and talk about some of its new improvements over the Fusion. If you watched my review of the Fusion a few years back when it first came out, I was very dissatisfied with it. And I think now with the GoPro Max they've kind of addressed some of the complaints that I had with it and many other users. So let's just open it up here and we will take a look at it. You can see here it's kind of in a traditional kind of GoPro box, and I'm not sure, but when I bought the Fusion it came with the Fusion grip, but it looks like it doesn't come with the Max now. I think that's something you do have to buy separately. They've rebranded the Fusion grip and they're calling it the Max grip now. I'm not sure if there's any other changes to it, but it is something you now have to buy separately. So you can see here we've got the box and camera, and it's packaged just like a normal GoPro is. So let's go ahead and take the camera off the mount. We'll just set that aside there for a minute while we go into the box and see what else is inside here. So the first thing you can see here, we have lens caps, which is really nice. This is something new with the Max. The GoPro Fusion did not come with these, and that is actually a nice little touch. We've got a curved sticky mount. We've got the GoPro Max battery. Now it looks very similar to a GoPro Hero 8 battery, but it is a little bit larger and will not work in your GoPro Hero 8 Black. And we have a charging cable there. On the other side of the box here, you can see we have a little carrying case. And something else new that they've added this year with the Max, you can see here we have these little protective domes. Now these aren't to be used all the time. Basically, if you're going to be filming something where you could potentially maybe scratch a lens, that's when it's a good idea to put these domes on. If these do get damaged or scratched, you can easily replace them. And you can see there at the top of the bag for the GoPro Max, there's little pockets, and they just store inside there. Yeah, so that's a nice little touch. And of course we've got all our literature. You can see here on this little card, it says those caps are for extra protection, but may affect image quality and not to use underwater. So you can see here, these caps, when not using it, just fit over the Max just like that. So actually that's a really nice touch. You can actually now just throw that right in a camera bag or a backpack. You don't have to worry about those lenses. Let's go ahead and take it off the buckle mount here. So just like the Hero 8 Black, they have the new folding finger mounts. The Fusion had kind of that rail system. You would actually have to unlock it and slide it right off. So that's actually a nice feature. And it's just like the Hero 8 Black. If these happen to get damaged or broken, you can replace them. There's 4 little screws that you just take out. And you can purchase a new replaceable finger mount on the GoPro website, or I imagine on Amazon as well. Now they've really shrunk it down quite a bit. I don't have the original Fusion anymore. I did get rid of it because I wasn't using it. Wasn't too happy with it. But just for size comparison, you can see it here compared to the Hero 8 Black. That was one of my complaints of the original Fusion, is that it was very large and cumbersome. So I'm actually really happy that they have shrunk it down in size. Now if we take a look at the physical attributes of the camera, you can see we have a microphone there at the front, we have one on the side, and we have one at the back. And something that's really new now, we have a full touchscreen on the Max, whereas the Fusion didn't have that. It had that little screen where we could kind of scroll through and set settings, but it was very not very user-friendly and kind of a pain to cycle through. On the top here we have the record button, and on the side there we have our power and mode button. Now just like the Hero 8 Black, all ports are located under one door. So if we unlock it there just like that, you can see it comes, you can see it lifts straight up. Once we're inside there, you can see we have the battery compartment, the USB-C for charging and data transfer, and we have the memory card slot right under the battery compartment. The battery just slides in there just like that. And I'm going to grab some memory for it. May as well put that in while we have it open. If you own the original Fusion, you'll notice that this is one of the differences of the Max. It now only takes one memory card. With the Fusion, you had to put 2 different memory cards in it, one for each lens. It was kind of a nightmare when it came to stitching and file management and transferring content. So let's go ahead and power it on for the first time, and then we'll sync it to the GoPro app. I'm not actually sure how much battery power is on it, but we will soon find out here. Let's go ahead and power it on. Just like the Hero 8 Black, there's a little bit of a setup procedure, so I'll leave it on English. Legal stuff, agree to that. We'll turn GPS on, and now it's going to ask us to connect to the GoPro app. So now it's asking us to connect to the GoPro app, so I'll just set that aside there. We'll launch the GoPro app, we'll hit add new camera. It's going to search for it. And it says there we found it, so we'll connect camera. We will pair it. Ask us what we want to name it. I'm just going to call it Max. I should have read that a little bit closer. It said that it had to be a minimum of 8 characters, so I just renamed it to GoPro Max because it wouldn't continue there. So we'll hit Save New Name, and yeah, you can see that there is an update available right away. So we'll go ahead and we'll update the camera, and I will be back once that's done. Now I've gone ahead and updated the firmware, and it's very important that you do update the firmware if you do buy one brand new. There's a lot of important updates and features that do get added. So some of you might be wondering who this camera is geared to, if you should get this or maybe a Hero 8 Black if you're in the market for a new camera this holiday season. And we'll kind of get into that in more detail in upcoming videos. But basically this is a spherical camera. That means it captures video all the way around in 360 degrees. Now most people don't buy it and use these cameras for the spherical video. To me, spherical video is kind of gimmicky. Once you've uploaded 1 or 2 360 videos to YouTube or Facebook, it gets old pretty quick. Most people buy these and use them because you can capture 360 degree video, and later on during editing, because you did capture 360 degree video, you can then punch out the perspectives you want. And it does allow you to get some very interesting perspectives that you can't normally do with a traditional camera. And GoPro doesn't even really push the 360 capabilities of it. If you look at the box here for the Max, it doesn't really make a lot of mention of 360 video or spherical video. They do have a little icon there showing it, but it's basically about using it like a traditional camera and just getting different perspectives later on. They even have a new mode called Hero Mode, and basically that turns this spherical camera kind of into a traditional GoPro. It allows you to shoot video from one lens or the other while disabling the other lens. For example, I've got this back lens covered, but you can still see a feed from the front lens. So realistically, you can just go ahead and capture video in this mode just like a traditional GoPro. And you can see here down the bottom left-hand corner, there's an icon, a picture of a camera. It looks like a little GoPro. That means we're in Hero Mode. If I click on it, you can see it's going to switch to like a little bit of a globe. That's kind of the 360 symbol, so now it's going to be capturing content in all directions. Now I still have this cap on there, so it won't do that. Now the only problem using Hero Mode, it only captures at a max resolution of 1440. So it's not going to give you that nice 4K footage like a GoPro Hero 8 Black. Now one nice thing that they have done here is they've kept the menu system very similar to that of the Hero 8 Black. So if you do own a Hero 8 Black and you do end up picking up one of the GoPro Maxes, it's already going to be very familiar to you. You can see here we can go in and change all our resolutions and settings. The button over here on the right hand side turns on horizontal leveling, so we can turn that on. And what that does, no matter which way you have the camera angled, it's always going to keep the horizon level. If you notice in that window there, even when I have the camera turned on the side, the back of my desk stays level compared to when I do that. Now I've got it disabled. You can see there how it moves. So it just depends on what kind of video you're trying to capture. Sometimes you do want that horizon to move a little bit, sometimes you don't. Now coming up in different videos, I am going to do some stabilization comparison against the Hero 8 Black to see what the difference is. Just like the Hero 8 Black, they have their digital lenses. But one thing you're going to find now on the Max is that they have a new field of view called Max Super View. And they're claiming it's their widest field of view to date. Now, it's not something you're going to want to use very often because, you do get a lot of distortion with it. But if you want to capture a lot of content in your video, turning on Super View when in Hero Mode will give you a really nice perspective. Now, another nice new feature, if we go over to Photo Mode, and we click on there to change settings, you can see we have a new mode called Power Pano. Unlike a smartphone where you have to scan the horizon to get those nice big panos, this will do it all for you with one click of a button. Now if we switch over to time-lapse mode, you can see there that we are able to create time warp video too on the Hero Max. Now just a couple other quick things I want to talk about here before I go is some of the problems that I had with the GoPro Fusion was the workflow. It really was horrendous. You had to upload the footage to your computer, you had to stitch it, and that was not an easy task. You had to have a pretty good computer to do that. It was cumbersome, took a long time. If you could even get it done without your computer crashing. It just really wasn't a good user experience just for a consumer. Something like the Insta360 One X, you could do it all on your phone. You could actually make some really nice edits. But now with the GoPro Max, all the stitching is done on camera. So when you're done recording, you've got basically a 360 video that you can then put into the GoPro app. You can now edit it, add keyframes, change perspectives, do all kinds of interesting things, and it's ready to share. You don't have to spend hours on your laptop trying to get some video footage that is even usable. So that's huge, and I think that's going to make the GoPro Max much more appealing to many people. A lot of people got frustrated with the whole Fusion Studio and just kind of gave up on it and moved on to a different camera. I'm going to do a full review on the Max in a couple weeks once I've had a good amount of time to use it. And of course, I'll be making different tutorials and demonstrating different things with it to hopefully help you decide if the GoPro Max is right for you. Well, folks, that's basically it for my video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.